Yo, what's going on, Coneheads? It's your boy iStream, and we are back with another Apex Legends mobile video. Today, we are going to cover one of the most confusing, if not the most confusing aspects of Apex Legends Mobile, the settings. In today's video, I'm going to run through everything that the settings has to offer for you guys for this game, and I'm going to go through each and every single option to let you know what they do. Now, please do bear in mind that a lot of the settings are mistranslated. It seems like they've literally just put it on Google, typed what this is, and typed, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean with some of the translations that they have in the settings. But my job today is to tell you everything that you need to know about the settings. Please do bear in mind though that there are a couple of things that I couldn't figure out. I've also been trying to find out the answers from the community, and the community members are also baffled as to what some of the options are. So what I'm going to do today is run through everything that I know in the settings, which is like 98% of the settings, to help you understand what they are. Yeah, let's stop wasting any more time. Let's kick it! There's a ton of stuff in the settings, so what I've done for you guys is I've put timestamps in the description below. So if there's anything in specific that you do not know, the timestamps are in the bottom for you, so you can just jump straight to that section. Okay, first one up, aim assist. Aim assist is something that assists your aim. That is it, yeah? Simple as that. If you don't actually know what aim assist is, I will show you right now. So I am pointing here. As soon as I start shooting, it will zone into the actual target, right? Watch. I didn't touch my right D-pad at all. It just automatically turned it. But it doesn't do it when you're too far. It's not a homing thing. It's not a complete aim lock, okay? So you've got to be a specific distance to your target for it to start zooming into the target. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't directly aim for the head. That would be ridiculously OP. It just helps you with your aim. And also, it doesn't lock you into place. So you can still be taken away from your target. Watch. So you can still pull away from that target. Auto ADS when using a bolt action sniper. Sentinel is a bolt action type sniper. And you go into ADS, you take a shot, it will reload, and then it will go straight back into the ADS. Turn it off, go into ADS, take a shot, it will reload the chamber. However, it does not go back into the ADS. Shotgun firing mode. This was pretty straightforward. So you turn on tap to fire. Whenever you're using the right fire button, it will just fire, right? It will just hip fire. There we go. It will just hip fire. You put it on release to fire. It will still hip fire when you release the button. Now, if you put it on hold to ADS to release to fire, it will go into ADS, and then when you release, it will take a shot. One tap, ADS, and fire. This setting basically determines whether or not your right fire button will go into hip fire or ADS. Now, this one actually has examples on here. They should do this for every single option. I don't know why they haven't. Lazy devs. Anywho, whenever you've got this off, your right fire button will always be hip fire. When you switch it, fire after ADS, your gun will go into ADS and then fire after the animation. Now, when you turn it to fire while ADS, it's exactly how it sounds. It will start firing as soon as you press the button as it's going into the ADS. Compatible mode is basically mixed. So when you hold the button, it will go into ADS. Now, if you double tap the button, it will go into hip fire. Left side firing button. This is basically your hip firing button. When you have it on, it will permanently be on. Enable when ADS. It only comes up whenever you've got your ADS on. And off, completely off. Now we're in the ADS settings. ADS mode. Tap. When you tap your ADS button once, it will permanently stay there until you tap it off again to come off it. Hold. You hold the button to stay in the ADS, and then as soon as you release the button, you come off of that. And mixed, you tap the ADS button to permanently go in ADS and tap again to release. Or, at the same time, you can hold, and then you can freely go around until you release that ADS button. Then we have quick throw. When you turn on quick throw, you can just simply hold that button, and it will quickly throw it for you, and it goes straight back into the weapon that you were previously holding. Alright, scope mode. This setting is only really applicable for third-person perspective. Shoulder scope. Whenever you go into ADS, it will zoom in a little bit closer to your shoulder and give you that over-the-shoulder sort of ADS view. Fortnite! However, when you go into snipers, it doesn't matter what mode you're on, it will always go into first-person perspective. Then we got the hybrid scope. This is more really applicable to shotguns. Remember how we did the release to fire on my shotty? Whenever we use the right fire button for my shotty, it will still do the release release to fire. However, it will go into over the shoulder sort of view, and then when I release, it will shoot. However, whenever you press the actual ADS button, it will go into first person perspective. Snipers always stay the same. Okay, gyroscope settings. Gyroscope switch. This is actually pretty straightforward. So when you have it off, your gyroscope is completely off. On while ADS, your gyroscope only activates and turns on while you're in ADS mode. And always on means your gyroscope is always on. Then we have the gyroscope horizontal and vertical roll. This is what I said earlier about mistranslations. This should have said inverted instead of roll. What this actually means is when you have this turned on, your horizontal turns with gyroscope. Whenever you turn your phone to your right, it will turn to the left. So it's basically flipped. That's all what it is. Auto firing. Whenever you point your weapon at an enemy, it will start firing for you automatically. However, it doesn't instantly fire. It takes about 1.5 seconds to actually start hitting your enemy. You will see that on the crosshair that it would start to lock on first and then start firing. Not a good thing to have on. Weapon auto cycle on empty. When you have this switched on, you're firing your weapon and it runs out of bullets, it will automatically switch to your other weapon. Aim button rotates view. If you switch it on and then you hold your ADS button, you can turn at the same time. Switch it off and your view is completely locked. Quick optic switch. When you have this switched on, this button will pop up on your HUD. Click that button and it will show all the optics that you currently have in your bag, allowing you to switch through them really quickly. Permanent melee display. Switch this on, the melee button will pop up on your HUD. Continuous throwing. If you have this on and select a throwable, you will throw all the throwables in your bag until you run out. Switch continuous throwing off. Select a throwable. Once you've finished throwing that, it'll go straight back into your gun. Tactical ability release method. This is kind of a pointless one, to be honest. Okay, so let's say we have it on classic. You can hold the tactical button. You can aim. And then it will shoot for you when you release it. Right? So let's say for the Pathfinder's grapple. Now, when you switch it and turn it to quick, you will not be able to hold and aim. It will just shoot out automatically. Now, the reason why I said it's kind of pointless is because even if you're in classic, you can just quickly tap the grapple button and it will just automatically or instantly use the tactical for you anyway. So the quick mode isn't really any different. Ultimate use method. When you're in classic, for legends such as Pathfinder, all you gotta do is tap it and then you'll be able to freely aim. You don't even have to hold it. So you can tap, aim, and then shoot that zipline button. Now, if you have it to quick, as soon as you press that button, it will shoot the zipline out straight away. So like the tactical ability release method, I'd recommend putting it on classic. All right, moving on to the next tab, gameplay settings. First one up, joystick triggers auto run. If you have this on, you'll be able to automatically run if you drag your finger long enough to where your auto run button is. With this, all you gotta do is swipe up all the way to the sprint button, lock it there, and then you'll be able to run even when your left hand is off of the screen. Crouching controls, pretty straightforward. Tap or hold. If you select tap and you tap your crouch button, you'll stay in crouch permanently. And then you've got to tap it again to release the crouch. Put it on hold, press and hold the crouch button, you'll stay in crouch, and then as soon as you lift that finger off, you'll go back up. Auto open doors, super straightforward. Whenever you run to a door, if you have this switched off, you'll have to manually press the button to open that door. Have this switched on, as soon as you get close enough to a door, it will open for you. Ping button, have this on, you'll have your ping button available on your HUD. Switch it off, it will disappear. Wow. Double tap the screen to mark. Not a lot of people actually know about this feature, but when you have this switched on, you can just double tap the area on the screen in which you want to mark. Map radar alert. These are basically icons that pop up on your minimap that shows where the gunshots from the enemies are coming from. Crosshair radar alert. This is actually really similar to the map radar alert. However, it tells you on the screen on your HUD where the enemies are. So if someone's close enough to you, their footprints will come up around your crosshair to tell you which direction they're coming from, as well as where the gunshots are coming from whenever an enemy is firing their weapon close enough to you. Toggle third person, first person feature. Simply put, have this on, you'll be able to switch from TPP to FPP, but if you switch it off, the option disappears. Okay, now we have first person FOV as well as third person FOV. They're basically the same thing. FOV means field of view. This decides how much you can see on your screen. So if you pay attention, first person FOV 100, this is what it looks like. Pay attention to this thing on the corner. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower my field of view to 70 and watch how much my screen zooms in. There is an absolutely noticeable difference as to how much you can see on your screen at one given time, depending on how much you set your FOV at. Highly recommend to crank it up all the way to 100. Moving on to the advanced setting options for gameplay settings, click that. Auto open chests. When you have this switched on, loot bins will open automatically for you. Auto ping items. If you have this switched on, you will automatically ping rare items on the floor, such as purple shields, gold helmets, or phoenix kits, just to name a few. Auto ping. This is actually pretty much the same thing as auto ping items. However, instead of pinging items, you start to ping enemies. Whenever an enemy turns up on your screen and you point your crosshair at them, you will automatically ping that enemy's location. However, in closed beta, auto ping is currently broken. Oftentimes, you'll be running around, there's no enemies around, auto ping will still ping an enemy nearby. Quick ping and easy ping options. Turning on your quick ping will turn your ping wheel into a wheel that only has 2 easy ping options, which leads me to the settings below. Easy ping options. Easy ping options will give you 2 options to the specific pings that you want to use. Ping info opacity. This setting basically helps you set how visible your ping wheel becomes. Right now we have it at 100%, so you can see the ping on your screen like this. Now drop it all the way to 19%, your ping wheel becomes almost invisible. Attachment backpack. If you switch this on, you will get this menu that gives you quick access to your attachments in your bag. When you click it, a new window will pop up that lets you scroll through your attachments as well as your ammos and discard them very quickly. All you gotta do is simply tap on the item that you want to drop, and it instantly drops it for you. Smart healing item recommendation. If you switch this on and you take damage, the game will automatically recommend the best item for you to use, or so apparently the best item for you to use and heal with. A pop-up box will come out just above your heal box that will recommend the item, and once you tap this item, you'll start healing. Continuously use health items, continuously use shield battery. These two offer the exact same feature. For example, if you switch on continuously health items, you will keep using your syringes automatically until you reach full health or you've manually cancelled it. Same goes for shield cells. Toggle to use heal items. This is what's going to happen when you switch it on. Let's say you've taken damage and on your quick slot for your heals, you have a shield cell or you have a shield battery. Obviously, you want to heal your HP, so you're going to go and look for either a syringe or a med kit. All you got to do is tap the healing item and it will automatically use it for you. Now, if you switch it off, you'll need to manually select the medikit and then tap it again to use it. Zipline button settings. This setting hides or shows the zipline specific buttons that pop up on your HUD whenever you get close enough to a zipline. So now I'm going to walk up to the zipline and pay attention to my top right corner. Underneath my jump button, a button will appear. That is the zipline button to basically go on the zipline. And it'll be the same one that pops up that lets you jump off. And if you want to hide this, the button will no longer appear and you can use your jump button to get on the zipline. Riding on zipline modes. One thing to note at the moment though, slide, turn, and jump currently do not work. They are broken. So we'll ignore those 3. First one, we have the hover. What this means is when you're in the air and you get close enough to a zipline, you can tap your jump button and then you will ride your zipline. Replace. When you get close enough to a zipline, your jump button will be completely replaced with ride the zipline button. And last, off. When you have riding on zipline mode on off, zipline button settings is forced to display. What I mean by that is when you get close enough, the zipline button will still pop up whether or not you have display or hide selected. Direction when riding on vertical zipline. This settings basically dictates where you're going to be facing as soon as you jump on a zipline. Starting with off. With the settings off, whenever you jump on a zipline, it doesn't matter where you're facing, you will always face that direction. You will never get turned. It is basically fixed to however you're looking at the time of jumping on a zipline. Turning will turn you to the direction where the platform is going to be at when you get off. Also, with turning, your viewpoint will always be dead straight horizontal. It doesn't matter if you're looking up or down. Your view will always be reset dead center. Now, when you switch to orientation, it will still turn you to the direction where the platform is at the very end of the zipline. However, it doesn't reset your orientation, meaning you can be looking up or looking down. The spin will finish with you looking up or down. Just watch. There you go. So it did spin me 180 degrees. However, it kept my orientation in terms of am I looking up or down. Allow left shoulder camera. This is only really applicable on third-person perspective. With it off, your character is to the left, so your view is on the right shoulder. If you click use, it switches your character over to the right. Now your view is over the left shoulder. Minimap rotation. Pay attention to my minimap on the bottom middle section of my screen. Whenever I'm moving around, the minimap stays the same. Switch this on, your minimap will start moving with you. And last on the gameplay settings, enable autoplay for squad mates after going offline. Let's say you're in the lobby about to start a game, your game disconnects or it crashes or it freezes and you have to reset the game again. When you disconnect, your status becomes unready. With this option switched on, after you reset and go back in the lobby, you will automatically be put back on ready. Alright, over to the display settings tab. First, we've got the graphics quality, self-explanatory. Then we have the FPS settings, which is frames per second. Low is 30, medium is 40, high is 50, and ultra is 60 FPS. Non-standard screen UI adjustment. What this does is it basically shrinks your screen to accommodate for things like rounded corners as well as notches on the top of your phone where you have like your front screen camera. Right now, I have it set to 0. Crank it up all the way to 55, you will see a massive difference. Personally, I don't think it's really that helpful because if you go into your settings and move one of your keys all the way to the very end, you can still use that button. So I'm not really sure what this settings is going to be used for, aside from, I guess, when you're switching phones and one of your phones has got a wider screen than the other, then you can quickly use this to adjust your HUD. But who the hell has 2 or more phones to play Apex Legends Mobile on anyway? Adaptive smoothing. No idea what it really is. Even if I turn it on, it makes no difference. If I were you, I'd just keep it off as it uses more of your resources for absolutely minimal returns. And last on the display settings, dynamic shadows. In simple terms, shadows. When you have it off, no shadows. Switch it on, shadows. Right, over to the sensitivity settings. But before that, if you guys are enjoying the video so far and if you find this really helpful, please do consider hitting that like button. And if you want some more videos like this in the future, then obviously subscribe. And if you want to be one of the first to find out when I drop a new video out, make sure you hit that bell notification button and be the first to find out. Rotation mode. Unfortunately, as much as I would have loved to show you guys how this works, this thing is currently broken in closed beta 4. But I'll explain them to you anyway for future use. I'm going to work backwards because it will make more sense that way. Speed acceleration. Speed acceleration basically dictates how much you turn based on how fast you swipe your finger. Distance acceleration. Distance acceleration dictates how much you turn based on how far you swipe your finger in a short amount of time. Let's say the turning window for acceleration is half a second. If you slide your finger from the right of your phone all the way to the left side of the screen in half a second and you have your sensitivity acceleration over to 300, you will probably do a 720 turn. If you only slide your finger from the right side of your screen all the way to the middle part of your screen, you will only do a 360. Make sense? Now, the fixed speed. Fixed is fixed. It doesn't matter how far you slide your finger or how fast you slide your finger, you will always turn the same amount of distance. Sensitivity adjustment. No one knows what the hell this is because speed accel and distance acceleration is broken at the moment. So even though we switch it on or off, we can't really tell the difference because every time we turn on speed acceleration and distance acceleration, it messes up with the entire sensitivity setting. So we can't really tell what the sensitivity adjustment does at the moment. Overall sensitivity. These are basically your default profiles. Whenever you go into high and start changing anything, you will automatically be pushed into custom. Free camera focus, TPP and FPP. This eyeball right here is your free camera. So when you use this, you'll be able to turn around, look around without your character having to turn around. So switch that off. That disappears. Now this option right here, free camera focus, is the sensitivity of which how fast your camera focus turns. The other thing you need to know about free camera focus is it doesn't just affect the eyeball sensitivity. It also affects the camera speed of when you use certain abilities like Pathfinder's grapple skills. Sensitivity acceleration. This option helps adjust distance acceleration and speed acceleration sensitivity. However, like I said earlier, distance and speed accel are currently broken in the game, so I can't really show you how this affects those two. Right, the next few sections, it looks complicated because you have a lot of options. However, they are actually very simple to understand. Starting off with the camera sensitivity. This is the sensitivity of which you turn when you are not firing your weapon. Starting off with a funny description. Do not aim down sights while in first person. This view is basically when you're just moving around and you're not in your ADS. Then we have the sight options. These options decide how fast your camera moves when you are aiming down your sight. This runs in conjunction of which sight you currently have equipped on your weapon. Ordnance sensitivity. This is the sensitivity of which how fast your camera moves when you are about to throw a grenade. So let's say you hold your grenade button, you're about to throw it, you're just cooking it in your hand, ready to throw. Ordnance sensitivity dictates how fast your camera moves while you're in this status. And legend throwing ability sensitivity sensitivity is pretty much the same as Ordnance. However, this is when you're holding your tactical ability button down. Firing sensitivity, this is where things change. Firing sensitivity kicks in as soon as you start firing your weapon. FPP and TPP no scope shooting means hip fire. Should have just called it hip fire. Gyroscope viewing sensitivity, same as the standard camera sensitivity, but for gyroscope. Gyroscope viewing sensitivity is your standard running around viewing sensitivity, camera sensitivity when you're turning a gyroscope while you are not firing your weapon. And down below, gyroscope firing sensitivity. Again, exactly the same as the standard firing sensitivity, only for gyroscope. Gyroscope firing sensitivity kicks in as soon as you start firing your weapon. And just to clarify, with his mad descriptions again, gyroscope FPP shooting without ADS, gyroscope TPP no scope shooting means hip fire. Lord. Over at the control settings tab, screen settings, click custom layout. This is where you can arrange your HUD down to your preference. I'm not about to teach you how to make the perfect HUD. That'll be a story for another day. You're just gonna have to wait for that video. Over at the battle feedback tab, damage numbers display mode. This is basically the numbers that you see every time you hit an enemy. So if you have it off, you're not gonna see anything. Stacking, you'll see the numbers add up. Tells you the total damage that you've done, 209. Floating, it shows you each and every single damage that you do, doesn't stack. And both, you have stacking and floating, so you'll see each individual number and also the number stacking adding up. Battle info. This is something that absolutely no one in the community actually knows what it is. A lot of people, including myself, have tried to test in fights, in markings, or anything like that. However, we don't actually know what it is. What info is supposed to be provided? What info is following the crosshair? It's not the damage. It's not where the enemy is coming from, because every time we change it, it has nothing to do with battle info settings. So please, if anyone has any idea what this is about, please type it in the comment section below and help everybody out. Thank you. Damage crosshair. These are things that pop up whenever you damage an enemy. Target crosshair with shield icon. Every time you hit an enemy, the crosshair will pop up, as well as a shield to tell you what shield they are currently wearing. This is the shield icon that pops up just underneath your crosshair that tells you what armor someone is wearing. And also when it breaks. Target crosshair. Only the damage crosshair will pop up whenever you hit an enemy. Now, if you guys notice just now, the shield info icon still pops up above the character. Which brings me to my next point. One of the first things that you should do when you get in a game is change your damage crosshair to off. The less things that you have cluttering your screen, the better your gameplay will be. Setting it to off will prevent the crosshair from popping up whenever you damage an enemy, as well as the shield icon popping up underneath your crosshair. And as you saw in that last clip, the game still tells you what shield the enemy is wearing anyway, so you may as well completely turn off the damage crosshair function. And last on battle feedback, damage feedback. Whenever you take damage, you can have 3 things that give you specific information. Unlike damage crosshair, damage feedback lets you choose all 3. Starting off with 2D icon, whenever you take a shot, that tells you the rough direction of where the damage is coming from. 3D icon. This icon pops up telling you exactly where the damage is coming from. Edge tips. Edge tips only pop up whenever you're wearing a shield. Edge tips is more of a visual helper than an icon, so to speak. Whenever you take damage, these fish scale looking things pop up. The color of your shield will also match the color of the edge tips that will come out when you take damage. Onto the pickup settings tab. Auto pickup. Have it on and you'll automatically pick items up. Have it off, you won't. Close pickup list and stop auto pickup. What this means is when you manually close the pop-up window for the pickup list, this also switches off the auto pickup. Whenever you walk over a box or an item again, and then you open the pickup list again, and then you walk away without manually closing it, the auto pickup will stay on. Hide pickup list when hip firing. It is literally as simple as they come. Whenever you're hip firing, the pickup list will close. Whenever you stop, it'll pop back up. At the bottom part of the pickup settings, you have the auto pickup amount. Here you can set how many items you auto pick up for each individual item. So let's say if you have 8 for syringe, you will only ever pick up 8 syringes, and when you have 8 syringes in your backpack, auto pickup will stop picking syringes up. And that's pretty much it for all the main settings that you need to really understand in Apex Legends Mobile. The rest of them are really self-explanatory. Sound settings, it's something that you don't really need to spend a whole day trying to figure out. In I guess the other thing that's quite important is the others tab. In this tab, it will tell you what country you're currently connected in. Right now, the beta is locked, so this account was made in a Turkey VPN. Therefore, my account was hard locked to Turkey. I'm assuming that when the game comes out, we might be able to select our regions close to where we actually live in this tab here. So make sure you guys check it out on things like soft launch or global launch, where multiple servers are available for selection, and select your closest server so you get good ping. Because as you can see on the right hand side where it says current server, my ping is 110 ms, so that's relatively high. So hopefully whenever, you know, the UK servers get launched in soft launch or global, London is going to be here or something like that, I'm definitely gonna hook up and play on the London server and get better ping. Right then, there you go guys, the full settings guide for Apex Legends Mobile Closed Beta 4. I hope it helped. If you enjoyed the video and if you think it's going to be helpful for others, hit that like button and help it grow. If you want some more videos like this in the future, I'm going to be dropping a hell of a lot more amazing guides and gameplay for you guys. So make sure you subscribe. And if you want to be one of the first to find out when I've dropped a new video, hit that bell notification button and get the notification sent straight to your phone and then click it, okay? But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day. See you in the next one. Peace.